When it comes to card-based roguelike games, you probably immediately think of that one game. And if I mention rolling dice, there's a high chance you will think about Baldur's Gate 3 and the game of the year. Last year. However, the beginning of this month, I discovered a game that combines both card-based gameplay and rolling dice mechanics, ASTREA. It was quite a coincidence that I played both Slay Spire and Baldur's Gate 3 before, and with ASTREA receiving favorable reviews from players, combined with 50% discount during the recent winter sale, I decided to have it within a minute, despite never having heard of the game before. After actually playing ASTREA, it indeed showcased the unique charm different from other card-based roguelike. For roguelike games, if you choose the path of deck building, it's inevitable to compare it to the masterpiece Slay Spire. However, with ASTREA, I found it hard to have the familiar feeling I got from the Slay Spire, mainly due to its distinctive dice mechanics. The game replaces carved dice. At the beginning of each turn, we roll the dice and gain corresponding effect based on the dice result. This gameplay mechanic makes it difficult to perceive it as a traditional card-based roguelike right from the start. Moreover, the damage mechanics in ASTREA are completely different from other similar games. In most cases, card effects have a fixed and clear direction, either targeting enemies or yourself. However, in ASTREA, it's a one-dice two-use system. For example, after rolling a dice with a result of 6, you can choose to deal 6 damage to the enemy or restore 6 points of your own health. Of course, this mechanic can lead to a potential issue, since both the player and the enemy have health bars composed of purification and corruption, with one increasing as the other decreases. If the player's purification reaches 0, they die, while if the enemy's corruption reaches 0, they die too. So, it's easy for players to heal themselves during challenging situations. They enter the next battle at full health, directly impacting the game's difficulty balance. To address this problem, the game designers have inflated multiple health bars for characters, with a maximum limit of 7 for each bar. In other words, no matter how much you heal yourself, you can only have a maximum of 7 health points. Additionally, this limited health setting creates a thrilling experience as characters constantly choose between being full health and empty health. Building upon the mechanics I mentioned before, ASTREA combines the triggering conditions of different character skills with their health levels. Only when the character's health decreases and the corruption reaches a certain level can you use the corresponding skill. Interestingly, the lower the health, the stronger the skill you can use. Considering the game's damage mechanics, health mechanics, and skill design in conjunction, you can see that the gameplay revolves around health as a core battle resource. When health is high, you have fewer attack options and deal less damage, but when the health is low, you have more attack options and higher damage. The frequency of health fluctuations directly determines the frequency of skill usage and sets upper limit for deck strength. In this logic system, mastering the dynamic balance of health becomes an essential skill. To help players get started, ASTREA categorizes the dice into 3 styles: conservative, balanced, and adventurous, each corresponding to different levels of risk and reward. Conservative dice have positive effects on every phase, but the values are generally low, making them more suitable for beginners who want to understand the game mechanics. On the other hand, adventurous dice can have values up to 3 times higher, but only 2 phases provide positive effects, making them more suitable for hardcore players seeking high-risk, high-reward gameplay. In addition to these mechanics, ASTREA boasts an extensive content offering: 315 selectable dice, 6 unique characters, and 20 upgradable support sentinels, providing hundreds of hours gameplay. To be frank, in terms of the gameplay, the only recognized flaw of ASTREA is the lack of damage display. In Slay Spire, game calculates accurate monster damage based on the current buff situation of both the enemy and the player, allowing players to plan their moves for each round based on these numbers. In comparison, all the damage values in ASTREA are not big. The tedious calculation steps with multiple stacked buffs greatly affect the accuracy of the result and often lead to frustrating situations of sudden defeat. Outside of the game, the price of ASTREA may also deter some players, considering that it's hard to justify the cost compared to Slay Spire. In summary, in the realm of deck-building roguelike games, it's hard to imagine a game that doesn't resemble Slay Spire. If such a game does exist, it's either a masterpiece or a disaster. I'm glad to say that ASTREA falls into the former, at least in my opinion.